America, today it is not just a country, but a global symbol. From elections and trade disputes to the space race and worldwide military bases, its influence is everywhere. America stands for wealth and opportunity, but also conflict and controversy. We will trace its history, from Columbus's sails to the War of Independence, from Civil War to World Wars and the Cold War, up to modern challenges. In 1492, Columbus led 3 small ships across the Atlantic. Sailors, starving and fearful, nearly mutinied. At last, land appeared on the horizon. For Europeans, it was a dawn of discovery. For native peoples, disaster. Firearms, horses, and diseases like smallpox wiped out millions. Columbus's landing marked a turning point in world history. Columbus's success spurred Spain, France, and Britain to explore. Spaniards destroyed the Aztec and Inca civilizations. The French built forts and fur trade networks in Canada. English settlers grew tobacco along the Atlantic coast. As colonies expanded, native societies collapsed under disease and war. Missionaries came with Bibles, traders with tools, soldiers with guns, while natives lost land and future. In the 17th and 18th centuries, North America became a battlefield. France and Britain clashed in forests, while Spain held the south. Sugar, cotton, and tobacco shipped to Europe, while slave ships carried Africans to America. A triangular trade formed society's backbone, but beneath prosperity lay blood and tears. Colonial rivalries set the stage for future wars. By the mid-18th century, Britain controlled 13 colonies. Heavy taxes, like the Stamp Act and Tea Act, angered colonists. Streets filled with protests, taverns buzzed with debates. Craftsmen, farmers, and merchants dreamed of freedom. Meanwhile, redcoats patrolled with bayonets. Tension rose, pushing the colonies toward rebellion. In 1776, representatives signed the Declaration of Independence in Philadelphia. Thomas Jefferson wrote, "All men are created equal." It was not only political, but a cry of belief. They risked death for freedom, yet bravely signed their names. This act lit the flame of liberty and began a new nation. The Declaration sparked war. Militias of ordinary people fought the mighty British Army. Poorly armed yet courageous, they shocked their enemy. From Boston streets to Concord's fields, gunfire rang. For colonists, it was not an imperial war, but a struggle for their future. In 1781, Yorktown changed history. Washington, aided by the French, trapped British forces. After weeks of siege, General Cornwallis surrendered. Tears flowed as the war ended. America had won independence and entered the world stage. Freedom came, but not order. In 1787, delegates met in Philadelphia. They debated states' rights, presidential powers, and individual freedoms. After many revisions, the Constitution was born, with checks and balances and the Bill of Rights. It became the foundation of American democracy. In 1789, George Washington became the first president. Rejecting royal titles, he swore his oath before Congress. He led with restraint and wisdom, setting the precedent of limited terms. Humble yet visionary, Washington became the father of the nation. In 1803, America bought Louisiana from France for $15 million, doubling its size. The map expanded overnight, and new hopes arose. This purchase opened the path for westward expansion. Lewis and Clark led an expedition west. They crossed the Rockies and the Missouri River, facing wild frontiers. Guided by Sacagawea, they survived and succeeded. Their journey revealed the mysteries of the West and pointed the way for pioneers. In 1812, war with Britain erupted again. British troops burned Washington, setting the White House aflame. Yet at New Orleans, Americans triumphed. The war was costly, but it proved the nation could defend itself. In the 19th century, Americans embraced manifest destiny. Settlers drove wagons across plains, while railroads stretched westward. Campfires glowed under sunsets, symbolizing hope. Step by step, the frontier pushed toward the Pacific. Expansion brought sorrow. The 1830 Indian Removal Act forced tribes from their homes. On the Trail of Tears, Cold, hunger, and disease claimed thousands. Fires went out, tribes vanished, and prosperity grew from their sacrifice. Southern plantations depended on slaves, while the North industrialized. Slavery became the nation's deepest divide. Debates in Congress, protests in streets, and novels like Uncle Tom's Cabin intensified the conflict. In 1861, after Lincoln's election, 11 Southern states seceded. Civil war began. Union blue clashed with Confederate gray. Cannons thundered, brothers fought brothers, and the land was torn apart. The war brought immense pain. At Gettysburg, fields ran red with blood. Families shattered. Women and children lived in fear. It was among America's darkest chapters. In 1865, the Union won. Slavery was abolished, and black people gained freedom. But challenges began anew. That same year, Lincoln was assassinated, casting sorrow over the nation. Victory and grief stood side by side. Post-war America rebuilt. Railroads, schools, and black voting rights emerged. But the Ku Klux Klan spread fear and hatred. The Union stood, yet scars remained. By the late 19th century, America rose as an industrial giant. Steel, oil, and railroads thrived. Factories roared, cities soared, prosperity shone, but workers endured harsh conditions and long hours. European immigrants poured into New York. Tears filled their eyes as they saw the Statue of Liberty. Dreams drove them, but poverty and crowded slums awaited. Ellis Island marked the start of countless new lives. In 1898, the Spanish-American War broke out. U.S. fleets triumphed in the Caribbean and Pacific, seizing the Philippines, Guam, and Puerto Rico. America stepped onto the world stage as a new empire. In the early 20th century, America joined WWI, aiding victory. After brief prosperity, the 1929 crash struck. The Great Depression spread despair as unemployment soared. In 1941, Pearl Harbor drew America into Wobbuffet. Factories worked non-stop, producing tanks and planes. From D-Day to Hiroshima, war reshaped the world. By victory's end, America stood as a superpower. After WW2, America and the Soviet Union clashed. The Berlin Wall, nuclear arms, and space race defined the era. The world split into two camps, living under the Cold War's shadow. In the 1950s-60s, African Americans marched for justice. Martin Luther King Jr. declared his dream at the Lincoln Memorial. Protests, sacrifices, and hope advanced equality. In Vietnam's jungles, America sank into conflict. At home, massive anti-war protests erupted. Students filled the streets, chanting. The war tore both Vietnam and America apart. In the late 1980s, the Soviet Union collapsed, the Berlin Wall fell, and the Cold War ended. America stood alone as a superpower. Yet new wars, like the Gulf War, showed the world was still unstable. In 2001, terrorists struck New York's Twin Towers. The towers fell, shocking the world. America launched wars in Afghanistan and Iraq, ushering in a war on terror era. The internet, smartphones, and Silicon Valley transformed life. Information spread instantly, connecting the world. America's innovation kept it at the forefront of technology. In 2008, Wall Street's collapse caused global panic. Families lost jobs and homes. Yet after hardship, America rose again on waves of innovation and entrepreneurship. American culture spread worldwide. Hollywood films, jazz, rock, and NBA games became global symbols. U.S. culture shaped lives across every continent. In the 21st century, division deepened. Congress fought bitterly, protests filled streets, and media fueled polarization. Democracy faced new trials. From disasters to recessions, America repeatedly rebuilt. Neighbors helped each other, and national spirit endured through hardship. Today's America is powerful yet troubled. Racial tension, economic inequality, and political polarization test its strength. Globalization makes it both a leader and a battleground. U.S. choices affect the world, from climate change to trade, from military action to tech competition. America remains at the center of global affairs. Will America keep its dominance or be surpassed? No one knows. But its every move will shape the world's future. From Columbus's landing to today's superpower, America's story is one of freedom, conflict, innovation, and contradiction. The story continues, written by generations to come,